my colleagues have spoken so much about the state of the club, so I just want to focus on a few areas that we think are important from a financial point of view. I think for us, financial sustainability is the key, and we have a few areas that we are looking at. First of all, when the sponsor left, and I think the chairman and the SG, when we were coming in, all of us were talking of ensuring that AFC is sustainable, self-sufficient, that it can generate its own money, so that we can, once we lose a sponsor or not, it doesn't affect the club. So I think that is one area that we've really suffered, and our focus going forward is going to be on that. So revenue generation. So we are focusing so much, and as chairman had said, we really want to thank our media team. With the meager resources that we have, you've actually given your best. You can see from last year, November, even June, that our numbers have grown rapidly. We are talking about Twitter, we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about YouTube and Facebook. So that is a key focus areas for us, because the digital media is the way to go. So as we progress forward, I think all our accounts are almost verified now and are going to the Money League. So I just want to urge fans, as we move forward, let's like our pages, let's engage in our pages. We are developing a lot of content. This time we are talking to former players, we are talking to the officials, we are talking to players, we are talking to officials and everyone. So we want our members to understand where this club came from. So we are focusing so much on that. We can also thank the media team for the live streams. I think 90% of our matches were live, and as I said earlier, so all we are focusing on is just to strengthen the media team in terms of equipment and whatever they need. And we're asking for partnerships from corporates so that they can come in and help us build the media team where we want to take the club. So our digital footprint is what we are looking at. So in terms of online presence, I think that is the number one key area that we are looking at, that will help us to generate funds. I think the other side is gate collections. I think we have had a lot of challenges in these things, and as chairman had said, and the SG, is that it's a learning experience. So all of us are learning, and right now we are focusing on improving the gate collections efficiency in collecting our funds. So we are looking at investing, or looking at the market to see which product we can get so that they can help us go online. I think the biggest thing with online revenue generation is that it's easy to manage and all those things. Again, through the team here, I think we suffered a lot because we didn't have a home ground. So we are really working, and I want to thank the Minister for Sports, the CS for Sports, and we're engaging all the stakeholders to ensure that we play all our matches at home. We have a stable home ground. That will help us, because you can see last year we played home matches in 7 or 8 different stadiums. It doesn't help us at all. So if we have a focused home ground, before we talk about our own stadium, which the chairman talked about infrastructure. So we just want to ensure that we play at Nyao Stadium, which is close to our fans, and we want to bring this experience back to you. We want to do a lot of promotions. We want to make sure that our matches, like the first match that we will play next season, we want to ensure that we make it available to everyone. We make sure that every of our fans are able to know that we have a match. And lastly, match day experience. I think this is one thing that we've never done it so well. So we want to ensure that next season you come with your families, and once we develop our own stadium, as the chairman had talked about, it will be very easy for us, because we'll have ample parking. You can come with your family. We want to bring that experience. So you come with your family, we'll ensure that the security is tight, so that we engage. The game is at 3. We move away from this culture where we want to come to the stadium at 2:58, and the match kicks off at 3. So we want you to come to the stadium at noon. We have lunch together. We have an experience. We have people around. So those are key areas that we are looking at to help us do that. And finally, let me talk about partnerships. I think I've been forgetting the CEO. I think the CEO has done a great job. The chairman, the SG, and ourselves, we've really talked to so many corporates, partners, and it's one area that also we are focusing on. So we want to bring as many corporates as possible, and thank God, and we're very sure that in the near future you will hear of big announcements that will be coming. So we just want to focus on more. So as the chairman talked about products, we want to focus on products. We want to focus on our training ground, so that we can have partners everywhere. We can have partners in our training, we can have partners in our shorts, we can have partners in our bags, and everything that we want to do. So all these, I think, few areas we will be focusing on is just ensuring that we generate more revenue, that we can sustain ourselves. I think another injury to this club has been the debt management. When we came in June, we inherited a lot of debts. And what we did is, together with the Secretariat, we've been, and the National Executive Committee, we've been looking at these debts. Currently, we are undergoing an audit, and I think a lot of challenges on that because of COVID. So we are undergoing an audit with an aim of maybe examining the debts that we have and assessing the viability of them. So the debts that we will not be able to confirm or reaffirm, we will be able to write off and probably ratify it at the AGM. And for the other debts that we will, in our books, find that are okay to pay, we will enter into agreements with them, negotiate on how, because we are very tight on cash flow. So we will engage the debtors or debtees, if there's a word like that, so that we talk to them and give them a payment plan. And for new debts, we will ensure that we quickly turn around and pay them. In terms of cost management, I think that is very, very key. As we look for partners, I think the most important thing for us is to ensure that our costs do not go beyond. Our target should always be 90% of our revenues. So whatever revenue we generate, we don't want to spend more than 90%. That will help us now save a little bit and focus on investments in other areas. So I think we'll be looking at that. We'll be looking at a leaner squad. We want, I think the chairman is talking about a very good squad. It has to be very lean, but very competitive and with a lot of quality. Lastly, we are going to review, as we sit with the TB, as we sit with the players, we are going to review our alliances structure, so that we sit with them, we understand what kind of regime they would like for the alliances, win alliances and all that. And as we move forward, we'll be focusing on performance management, performance contracting, so that every player is on performance management, so that we don't have a lot of issues on allowances. We agree with you, if you score 10 goals, this is the kind of bonus you're getting. If you do assists, so that we move away from allowances, so that we have a very, the costs, we don't outdo our costs. Lastly, I think it's very important that we initiate systems and controls. I think it's one area that we are focusing. I'm very glad that we've upgraded the accounting software, and with the Secretariat now we are able to transact. The NEC is not required to come to the office to do transactions. We do online transactions, so that we are going to improve on that. We are going to improve on backup for our everything that we do, our transactions. We ensure that we have a backup anywhere, so that in case something happens to the office, and God forbid, we are able to recover our data. So lastly, we are going to be very strict on budget and documentations. So we will sit down with my colleagues, we will do a budget, work plans and budgets, and we will be very strict on that, so that we spend only what we've budgeted for. So I think those are the areas that we will be looking at. Yeah, I think very important for us is that when we came in, we were very clear on where we want to take this club. In terms of budget, I think Chairman has been vocal on this. We need, and so many people didn't understand when he said it's a club of 100 million budget. So I think the most important thing for us is for us to ride competitively. For us to be competitive, for us to do the plans that we have, we need about 100 million shillings every season. So in terms of budget shortfalls, yes, and you'll see in our financials that we have a shortfall of over 40 million. So I really again want to thank my colleagues here that through their effort we've been able to sustain the team. So when I talk about partnerships, we are looking at partnerships, different partnerships in different areas, so that it can help us reach the 100 million mark, so that we are able to run this club peacefully and efficiently without problems, and ensuring that we meet our goals. Yeah. Yeah, again, to our members, our focus areas, everyone has talked about it, is membership. We want to grow our members. We have a target of 10,000 members this year. Very important that for new members, you pay 1,200. For existing members, those who were in the register last year, you renew by 1,000. So we are working on modalities and benefits that members will get. But I can maybe mention a few. In terms of merchandise, we are getting very good brand. I think my colleague talked about it, Umbro. So very good brand, and we are going to give you substantial discounts for members. So one of the things is we'll have every merchandise, the replicas, the scarves, everything that we are doing as a club will be discounted. In certain matches, especially key ones, members also will have a discounted rate. And they'll have a specific designated area in our vision, so that every member, anyone who is a member, we will have a designated area to just come and enter the stadium, and a few will make sure that we have hospitality for them. So it's very important for members out there, those who've not renewed, please renew with us. It's money, as the SG had talked about, cards. We are ensuring that we are digitizing our membership. You will have a card. The card will, it's a chip card, as we said. So the card will enable you to come to the stadium and swipe. So when you have money, you can actually load money in the card. When you come to the stadium, you can swipe it. When you want to buy merchandise, you can swipe it. So I think it's a very good experience for us. So talk to your friend, so that they can join us. And it's money that is well spent. So we will invest it a lot in, especially the ticketing area. Because we want to sync the card and the ticketing and merchandise and everything. So the money that we get from membership, we use it a lot to invest in infrastructure that will help, online infrastructure that will help us. So again, I just want to emphasize on that. We can hit 10,000. I know we'll be doing very aggressive marketing very soon, strategies in all the regions. And I think the chairman did mention we have different committees that we are putting in place. We have the Revenue Resource Mobilization Committee. We have marketing, and marketing committee also will be handling distribution of various items. And lastly, the legal committee. So we want, and the regional committee. So we want to have regional representatives in Central, in Rift Valley, in Western, in Coast, in Nyanza, so that at least when the team is around, it's taken care of by those people. So I think those are the areas that we are looking at. When we talk about membership, again, the experience, we are talking about match day experience. So all we are saying is that as we look for these partners, that we are corporate partners to come and, for example, we want to have a drink partner, alcoholic drink partner for our match day experience, beverage soft drink partner, food partners, and all that. So as we engage in this match day experience, as a member, you'll really benefit, because you'll have discounted rates in all those things, not only merchandise. So we are talking about when we have match day experience, we're talking about food, we're talking about tickets, we are talking about soft drinks, hard drinks, if there's a word like that, and tea for those who for the lovers of tea, water and everything. So we want to ensure that every member is catered for. And especially the pastors, like the chairman here, are catered for. Thanks. Finally. So as I finish, I just want to encourage members. Due to COVID related issues, we've not been able to do our audits in time because of those challenges. But the Secretariat is working very hard to ensure that the books of accounts are audited, and we will be able to provide them as soon as possible. I'm very confident that before the AGM, or a week or 2 weeks before the AGM, we'll have the books out. So members should not panic. We'll ensure that we have audited accounts in time, so that they can interrogate, so that when they come for the online meeting, and as the SG had put it, these are very difficult times, strange times. We have to do what we have to do. So let's have the AGM. Let's support it. We'll do it electronically, as somebody has said. All the other sectors are doing it. We will ensure that we do the requisite statutory approvals for that. So let's focus on that. Lastly, I want to thank my colleagues, the CEO and the SG, who've been in the team for long, for the historical knowledge that they've shared to us, especially me and Chairman, who are new. I want to thank our Chairman for able leadership. We've been working very hard, and very important that he said that it's not that we don't agree. We don't disagree sometimes. We disagree, but we always agree that the club is bigger than all of us, and that at every decision that we make is the club's best interest that is taken care of. So I just want to thank my colleagues for that.